Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a pretty great day today. I'm having an all right day myself. Nothing too crazy. I was made aware of a situation this morning about a Dead by Daylight professional ish player grooming two minors. And I would have made a video about it sooner in the day, but I am a working man, so I had to get my shift out of the way. And, that's just how the cookie crumbles. Um, Other than that, I got a bunch of other content on the way, and I'm just going to get right into the situation without any more stalling. So, Nasila slash Allison, a 26-year-old or older single mother who used to be the owner of a Dead by Daylight comp organization slash team named Outrun the Fog, has been exposed for grooming at least two high school aged boys, being 15 and 17 years old. These allegations include hundreds of hours in voice calls with them, sharing flirtatious messages over Discord with the minors, and sharing explicit imagery, aka gay porn, with said minors. So this was the Twitter account that Outrun the Fog used to reside at, but after all this stuff happened, Allison went ahead and deleted all of their social medias, all of their Discord accounts, all their tweets, everything. It's gone. The first big event was the creation of this evidence document that was spread largely due to Deadly Naya's tweet about it. I'm denouncing my friendship with Nasila, owner of Outrun the Fog, following the statement and evidence gathered in this document. She deactivated her socials, however, she will forever be removed from all my spaces going forward. Now, the contents of this evidence document have been somewhat controversial, as there's been a lot of edits made, and apparently there's been a large need for changes to be made. On the document itself, if you scroll to the bottom, you can actually see the edit history. They highlighted everything to show a sense of transparency, but also just to make sure that their facts are straight, because this is serious stuff, especially when they I'm pretty sure they actually sent the FBI an electronic tip for the situation. Yup, that's it right here, electronic tip form. And sadly, I don't think anything's going to happen with that, because since one of the victims was 17, that's technically not illegal. So the FBI won't touch this with a 10-foot pole. Also, if there are not any straight up contents of Allison sending like nudes of themselves or meeting up with this person, I personally just don't think the FBI will even bat an eye at this. Additionally, sharing situations like this on social media is probably the worst thing to happen when you want justice for the victims, because 99 out of 100 times when any situation is shared on the internet, the evidence gets watered down and therefore is deemed unusable by the government and by the parties that are needed to punish the oppressors and the groomers and the pedophiles. Biggest example is EDP. The fact that EDP was texting someone he believed to be, I think, 15 years old, sending dick pics, sending shit pics, and tried to meet up with them should just be grounds to get him arrested. But since the person, the orchestrator of the sting operation, shared everything on social media before going to authorities, nothing was done, and that fucking disgusting blob of shit is a free man. And I'm sure Allison is going to be a free woman for the duration of their life as well. And Deadly Naya claims that they are still naive, which there's a lot of potential for that. In situations like this, when you're the victim, it is very hard to acknowledge that you've been groomed, because to you that was your normal. That was just how it worked. It's always hard to recognize that this was wrong and that this should not have been happening to you. A parallel is the Ava Chris Tyson situation, how Lava GS, the victim, was openly defending Chris, saying they weren't groomed, and I believe later he did come out acknowledging, like, yeah, this was not okay, shouldn't have been dealing with this. And so yeah, that's just a parallel. I send my condolences to the victims. I hope they can find their ability to heal. This evidence document shows a timeline of how this document was made public, how it was composed, and all of the issues. It goes over the US Code 1470, which is the transfer of obscene material to minors. They also go into why they decided to redact the names of the minors, which is the correct thing to do in this situation. Their identities should not be shared. Another allegation was that the Dead by Daylight Comp Alliance, a team that popular Dead by Daylight content creator Hens knew about this and decided to bury it and take no action, which they do have a reply coming up that pretty much deflects that claim. Or I don't know if deflect is the right word. Deflect is typically associated with not acknowledging it, but they do acknowledge it and they do go into how they did not know about this. And then they go into how the only admin to take action on the situation was Shelby, who made the decision to close Outrun the Fog within 1 hour of the receipt. They also go in how they've shared the document with the appropriate authorities under mandatory reporting laws as screenshot here. This is Shelby acknowledging the situation, forwarding it to her admins, and within the hour, apparently, Outrun the Fog was closed, but Outrun the Fog doesn't exist anymore. The account doesn't exist anymore, so we don't have any explicit timestamp for this event unless I use like the Wayback Machine, but I don't even know if it's backed up there, and I don't know how to use the Wayback Machine. Miner 2 created a music creation group with other competitive Dead by Daylight players, and Miner 1 invited Allison to the group shortly after its creation. Miner 1 was age 17 and Miner 2 was age 15. While Allison was 26 years old at this time, and there were other members of the group that I believe are choosing to remain anonymous. This group was active for a few months and involved playing Dead by Daylight and hundreds of hours of hanging out and voice calls, which just for me sends off so many red flags because just like the Ava Chris Tyson situation, you are a grown woman. Go out and talk to adults. Are you seriously that big of a fucking shut-in that you choose to hang out with minors? Like, is it just such a hard thing to understand that adults should not be in kudos with minors in this capacity? If you have like a minor on your friends list on Xbox or something, and they happen to be in the party with your other friends when they join, that's probably fine if the relationship's extent is just playing video games. But this is just so stupid to me. It's so infuriating. They should have the common sense to just not spend this amount of time with minors. It's absolutely disgusting and once again, it's just stupid. Grow the fuck up. The allegations also go into how apparently Allison made private channels in the Discord for Miner number 2 to vent their thoughts. And keep in mind that Miner 2 is actually the younger one in this situation, 15 years old. So the potential of explicit things being shared with the 15-year-old is actually punishable by legal action, while with Miner 1 is not completely punishable. But this just to me is so like weird. Once again, you're a grown woman. I mean, you can give advice to a minor, maybe like some type of therapist, but your advice should be like, go to a therapist, not, yeah, I'm going to make a private Discord channel that only me and you can read where we can go over your thoughts and I can be your little mommy. Like, that is just so disgusting. And then it goes into how she would start to guilt trip the minor and shut them out and not talk to them for days after love bombing them. What the fuck? It's so stupid. Is it rocket science to not talk to minors like that? They go into how it wasn't sexual, but at the same time, it just wasn't. That's not normal. That's not normal. An adult should not be doing that with a minor. It's fucking disgusting. And it also goes into how Minor 1 did eventually speak up about this, and Allison got him banned from multiple Discord servers and from sharing this any further. Below is a screenshot of the minor trying to reach out to Nos and the minor just being a dick about it. This is a situation where the minor was invested in Allison. So in this situation, Allison was pretty much getting what she wanted after emotionally grooming this boy. This boy was begging for Allison's company, which is just so disgusting. Please invite me back to the cat sandwich server. I deleted it. I wish you the best, but it's damaging me trying to be around y'all. No, call, please. No, I'm tired. Screenshot number 2, then talk to me about it. There's never been a time I wasn't here for you or heard you out or checked on you. Leave me alone. I've had a really terrible day all day long, and I think it was incredibly lame of you guys to act like that and just make it worse. Acting like a fucking child when talking to actual children. You're a 26-year-old woman. Grow up. You have no idea what people are already going through. You should try to just not be such a dick all the time and don't take it out on blank for being a good friend to me. That's even worse. And you know what? After you were all depressed last week, I would think of you, of all people, would understand because blank supported you the same fucking way. Bye. Weaponizing it. I'm saying it blows my mind you treat people shitty when we don't do it to you. Quick little editor's note here. I don't know if the microphone quality will be polarizingly different from the rest of the video, but this just disgusts me on a completely extra level. The fact that you're a grown woman and you like expect these minors to feel obligated to treat you a certain way or be friends with you extra than other people is just beyond disgusting to me. And if Allison thought that this was normal, like this is a normal way to be friends with someone, then it just calls the question like how many other minors were being treated this way by her? Like Allison and by extension just fucking e-girls as an entirety are just so confusing to me. This is not normal to treat anyone, let alone a minor when you're 26 years old. It's fucking disgusting. Another thing that they go into in the document is some type of analogy that minor one used to explain the situation. Imagine a basketball coach hanging out with players after the game in private. They never make sexual advances, but they'd vent to the players about their real life relationship problems and say that they love the players, give them gifts, and just overall show the players love, encourage them to drink and do drugs, and does it around them constantly. While all this is happening, the coach is gathering info on the players to use them to manipulate them into doing what the players want them to do at a later time. When the players find this to be the disgusting psychological grooming, they are barred from participating on the team anymore and are subsequently no longer allowed to play basketball. Minor one's relationship with Allison is different than minor two. They are much more intimate and engaged in activity than that many people would consider flirtatious. Screenshot 1, 2, and 3 go into the flirtatious behavior between the two. They tell each other I love you. And this just fucking grinds my gears, man. What the fuck is going through your head when you're sending these text messages? It's absolutely disgusting that people think it's okay to text like this when you're a grown ass woman talking to minors. Genuinely, what is going through your head? Do you think that this love between you and this child are real? No, obviously it's not real because a child can't express that properly to an adult. A child can't consent. You took this young, impressionable person and molded them like Play-Doh into a way that you wanted to get them to be sympathetic to you because you're such a fucking shut-in loser that you can't find real friends. It's so infuriating to me. Screenshot 4 and 5 go through how minor one valued Nos. One of them is apologizing. You're the person I've been the most real with ever. You're a good person, Nos. I'm sorry I do this to you. I sincerely didn't mean to. I fucked up pretty big at that front. I just really wasn't thinking. I can't even really say anything else. Just serious blunder. I'm sorry you ended your day like this. Good night. They say more stuff about like how they value Nos over other people, and it's just so disgusting, man. And this was over the course of 2 months. 2 months is not enough time to think that you love someone. And so fucking Nos too is just fucking childish. Not only for engaging in this, but for just letting this shit happen. You're an adult. You should be more responsible. And if a minor starts to think about you this way, especially over the internet, you need to take the bigger, more responsible role and either cut the minor off or tell the minor that it isn't okay. And the last thing that they go into this document is showing the images of explicit just porn that they sent to the Discord server with minors in it, as well as this image of a meme where the entire joke is just the fact that it slurs, and that's it. Which if your entire joke is the fact that you're using a slur in the joke, it's just not funny. Like I don't know how many people need to be told that. It's just fucking stupid. Now that we've been through the evidence document, a lot of things have happened in reaction to this coming out. The first thing being that Dead by Daylight Comp Alliance had to make a statement regarding this situation. In the past hours, serious concerns have emerged involving the conduct of Nos, owner of Outrun the Fog, an organization affiliated with Dead by Daylight Competitive Alliance. Allegations have surfaced regarding inappropriate, abusive behavior towards minors, with disturbing tendencies that suggest pedophilia. Our thoughts are with the victims, and we strongly encourage anyone facing similar other situations to reach out. The Dead by Daylight Competitive Alliance is committed to offering support as we are doing it with the victims in this case. Yeah, so pretty much in this document, they go over how they were unaware of the situation and these interactions until it was brought to light the day before this statement was made. They also go over how they obviously don't have the ability to rake up the evidence and make a decision immediately. They're in a variety of different time zones and are a volunteer based group. So it just took some time. They go over the victim support, evidence verification, and appropriate actions that they, which is the considerations they go through when trying to make a response. Just tell the story of how they became aware and how this Google Doc came to be, and promise to continue to work diligently to remove individuals who pose a risk and encourage anyone needing assistance to contact us. But that didn't last very long. Following this statement, Deadly Naya, the person that didn't first publicize the evidence document, but definitely got the most views on the evidence document, announces that they're going to take a break from social media because they're exhausted and everything was just hurting. Completely reasonable. And then later that same day at 4:40, roughly an hour after the competitive alliance statement was made, Hens announces that Outrun the Fog disbanded on the 17th and Nos deleted all her social media accounts, and that was when he was made aware. Both the org and the person were already gone, goes without saying that they never hold any position within the scene from this point onwards. The next day, Hens announces that he's going to be leaving the competitive alliance and that he's also going to be toning down his presence in all of competitive Dead by Daylight in its entirety. Not that he's going to stop hosting tournaments, but that he's not going to be as involved as he once was. Following Hens' tweet that he's going to be quitting the Dead by Daylight competitive scene, the Dead by Daylight competitive alliance announces that this is the end of the Dead by Daylight competitive alliance. And as of today, that's pretty much everything that's happened. Twitter user Direwolf announced that they're also going to be taking a break from social media in response to a kind of like emotional tweet they made regarding the situation while things were turning out, but they've since deleted those tweets, so I don't have full access to them. And yeah, that's pretty much everything that's happened. So the evidence came out, the competitive alliance replied, Deadly Naya announced they're going to take a break. Hen said he was going to tone down his presence in comp. Competitive Alliance announces that they're disbanding, and Direwolf also says they're taking a break from social media. These are all of the characters that I am aware of in this situation, and so I did my best to compile everything and put together the best story, the best explanation of the story as it exists right now. This situation could grow and become even more. I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm just sharing what I know. That's pretty much all for today. If you watched this far, thank you so much. I know this probably isn't the best video to plug this at the end. My cat was put to sleep about a week ago, and there's a GoFundMe in the description to help me pay for her vet bills. If you could share that, even if you can't afford anything, if you could share it, help me try to reach my goal. I'd really appreciate that. And thank you so much for watching.